Okay. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana-shalakaya Chakshuranmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayyam Dadati Swapadantikam. Vandeham Shri Guruho Shri Yuktapadakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavansha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatam Vitam Tam Sajivam साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजना सहितं कृष्ण चैतन्य देवं श्री राधा कृष्ण पदान् सह गणललिता श्री विशाखान्वितांश हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी विश्वभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. Okay, so welcome for today's Bhagavad Gita reading. We'll continue from where we had left. That is third chapter. We on the eighth. We did eighth verse, and ninth is where ninth is where we stopped. Okay. So just to get everyone on the same page, in the third chapter, Arjuna asked this question. Okay, sure. What do we? What is best for me? Ghastly warfare or intelligence? Which is best for me? There's a verse in the second chapter which says "Durena hi avaram Krishna," which means that keep the abominable activities away and use your intelligence. Oh, Arjuna. So this is what Krishna recommended in the second chapter, and hearing this, Arjuna thinks that if abominable activities, meaning activities which are not that great, not that good, not that beneficial, I should keep it away. I should keep it away. He's saying. Then why he's saying to me to fight? 7 8 times Krishna says, "Yuddhasva, get up and fight." Then why Krishna is saying fight? So that this starts the third chapter, that which is actually a doubt. At one point, you're telling me, Arjuna is thinking, one point you're telling me that I should use my intelligence and keep the abominable activities, and another point you're telling me to do this abominable activity of fighting. So what is the right thing for me to do? In this regard, Krishna says, that we cannot be away from work. We have to act. We'll be forced to act. And what is our natural duty to perform, we will do anyway. So the best is to perform that activity in karma yoga, and then that is far superior than not doing that activity at all. Sometimes, people think that spirituality means leave everything and go away. This is what Arjuna is also thinking. I don't want to fight. I want to be a beggar. I will run away from here. Let Duryodhan have the whole kingdom. I don't mind. And this is all he's thinking. Um, then Krishna says, no, you fight. At the same time, says use your intelligence. Keep the abominable activities away. But Krishna clarifies. He says, if we do that activity with the right intention, then we are not bound by it. Agreed? So I took some examples. See, is the knife good or bad? If I ask you this question, is the knife good or bad?
It depends on how you
It
Depends,
use it.
depends
right?
how you use it. Yeah, yeah,
Who
right.
is in whose hand it is, it depends. So I've shown two pictures. One is the doctor, other one is the thief. And the same knife in both the hands creates a lot of difference. Similarly, Arjuna is asking, is fighting abominable, bad or not? He's thinking first that it
Again,
is bad,
it
abominable.
depends. Yeah.
It depends. Why? If it's in the hand of the the right people who have taken it as a duty, then fighting is right because they will protect the weak from the evil. Whereas if it is in the hands of the terrorists, what they will do? What the terrorists do?
You kill the innocent people.
Innocent people. In Pakistan, few terrorists got into a school and killed more than 150 students. Now, where the children are to be connected to enmity and violence? Nowhere, right? But it is the duty. So when there is duty and when it is done for the right purpose, right, then it makes a difference. So Krishna is saying the same thing. Second thing is saying that we cannot be inertia, or let's say we cannot be idle sitting and all that. That is not recommended for us. We have to act, we have to work. So there are two paths to spirituality, Krishna says. One is empirical philosophical speculation. This is the path where one leaves everything and goes into study, Sankhya Yoga study of knowledge, and he leaves everything. He almost becomes like a sannyasi, left everything and all. And there he's only studying, arguing, discussing, only using philosophy. That that path needs to come to the realization that I need to surrender to Krishna. Okay. And second path is, we are not so philosophical and all that. We won't take this path. Very few people take the above path. For us, we need to work. We need to do something. So by doing something for Krishna, for the benefit of Krishna, for benefit of everyone, one will achieve perfection. So Krishna says that path is superior. And that path, when we do it in Karma Yoga. Now, he uses one more qualification. He says we need to control our active senses and mind. Now, going back to our PPT, where do you think other senses and the mind are controlled? In the army forces, right? They have a gun, but they don't indiscriminately hitting and killing everyone. That means they have control over their mind and senses, right? They're doing it out of duty. We expect them to be controlled. Agreed? But terrorist अंधाधुन गोली मारते हैं. अंधाधुन मतलब क्या? Like a blind person. We don't expect that from a police. We don't expect that from an army person, right? Why? Because they are controlling their anger, they're controlling their mind and senses. Only when it is required, they will shoot. But terrorist, blind killing, senseless killing. So Krishna is saying war is not senseless. With what purpose it is done, it makes sense, or it makes sense, no sense. Okay. So that's why Krishna is saying your duty is to fight. You better fight. If you become a beggar and somebody doesn't give you some donation, then you will fight with that person. Why are you not giving me? I'm begging here. Because that is one's nature, right? So we have to work according to our nature. And for most of the people, we have to work. We have to do karma yoga. So karma yoga is done with two things. One is one needs to have control over mind and senses. Third is Second is do it as a duty. Third is do for the betterment of the society in detachment. Hmm? And fourth is ultimately is to do it for Krishna. When all that happens, then it's a pure karma yoga, which successfully, and Krishna will give an example of that. So getting into our, so yeah, so eighth verse was perform your prescribed duty, for doing so is better than not working. One cannot even maintain one's physical body without work. So it is very clear that Bhagavad Gita is meant for karma yoga. You have to do our duty. Okay. Sometimes Bhagavad Gita people think is we have to leave everything. No, Krishna is very clearly saying you have to do our prescribed duty. In that we have to do spirituality, and we have to make our work also spiritual. How to make our work spiritual? We have to do it dutifully. We have to control mind and senses. We have to do it for lok sangraha, that is benefit for everyone, and ultimately for as a service to the Supreme Lord. When all these things happen, then um, then there is perfection in that work. Okay. So now in this regard, we will move further with 3.9. यज्ञार्थ कर्मणो अन्यत्र लोकोयम कर्म बंधन तदर्थम कर्म कौन्तेय मुक्त संग समाचरः. This is a very interesting set of verses that Krishna is going to say. Krishna said how he made this world and what is the cycle of work in it. So first thing he says, work done as a sacrifice of Vishnu, yagyahartha. He uses the word yagya arthat. Yagya arthat means for who enjoys all the yagya. That is Krishna. Therefore, he says, therefore, translation is work done is for the sacrifice of Vishnu has to be performed. Otherwise, work causes bondage in this world. Now, going back to our picture, now this army person kills 50 people, and this terrorist also killed 50 people. Whom do you think will get an award?
Soldier.
Soldier, right? Why? Because he did it for the government, and therefore it is not causing him bondage. If the same soldier fights with his neighbor and kills him, then government will give him another award? No. That time they'll put in jail. Why? Because they'll say you did your work for personal gratification. Not we didn't tell you to kill the neighbor. Right? The government said so on behalf of a higher authority, we don't get bonded by it. If a police car has to catch a speeding car which is running at say 100, the police car has to police car has to speed up to 120 kilometers per hour, right, to catch it. But then the criminal cannot say, see, I was 100 and they were 120, so you gave them also a ticket. Can the criminal say like that? No. Why? Because they were 120 for whom? For what reason? For the reason to protect the law, to implement the law of the government. So for a higher reason, that work never doesn't become bondage. When we follow this in our material life, in our day-to-day life, this then what to speak of, when it is done for sacrifice of Vishnu. So that's why fighting won't be causing bondage to Arjuna. Arjuna need to understand this. Because he was worried, right? I will kill so many people, sinful reactions will come upon me. Hmm? My seniors, I will kill them. How can I do that? They're worshipable. No, you're doing it for the sake of fighting, for the battle. And the battle is for a reason to get rid of the evil Duryodhan. So therefore, it's a just war. It is not a senseless war. It is a right war. Okay. Therefore, son of Kunti, perform your prescribed duties for his satisfaction, for Vishnu's satisfaction. In that way, you will remain free from bondage. So the issue that Arjuna is having, oh, too much bondage, I'll be entitled for all this killing. He says no. You do it for his satisfaction, then it will be fine. Okay. Since one has to work even for a simple maintenance of the body, the prescribed duties for a particular social position and quality are so made that the purpose can be fulfilled. See, we have to maintain our body, so we have to work. It's very easy to understand, right? Yagya means Lord Vishnu, sacrificial performance. All sacrificial performances also are meant for the satisfaction of Lord Vishnu. The Vedas enjoin Yagyo Vai Vishnu. In other words, the same purpose is served whether one performs prescribed yagyas or directly serves directly serves Lord Vishnu. Krishna consciousness is therefore performance of yajna as it is prescribed in this verse. So yajna, uh, people have this thoughtful that yajna means fire sacrifice and all that. Yes, that is also there, and it is also performing our duties. So it is a bigger meaning. Okay, it's not just single meaning. The Varnashram institution is also aims to satisfy Lord Vishnu. And from Vishnu Puran, this particular verse is there. Varna ashrama charvata purushena paramaha parha pumman Vishnur aradhate. Vishnur anaradhate means for the pleasure of Vishnu. For the aradhana of Vishnu, the Varna ashram is to be performed, is actually set up. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita also, Chaturvarnam Maya System. I have established this. Therefore, one who has to work for satisfaction of Vishnu, any other work done in this material world will be a cause of bondage. So, if it is not done for the satisfaction of Vishnu, it will be a cause of bondage. For both good and evil work have their reactions, and any reactions binds the performer. Binds the performer. Therefore, one has to work in Krishna consciousness to satisfy Krishna or Vishnu. While performing such activities, one is in liberated stage. Liberated stage means nothing is bounding him, no karma is bounding. This is the great art of doing work. Interesting, right? This is the great art of doing work. And in the beginning, the process requires very expert guidance. So, under the guidance of the Guru, one should perform his work and then it won't be a bondage. One should therefore act very diligently under the expert guidance of devotee of the Lord Krishna and under the direct instruction of Lord Krishna himself, under whom Arjuna had the opportunity to work. Nothing should be performed for sense gratification, but everything should be done for the satisfaction of Krishna. This practice will not only save one from reaction of work, but also gradually elevate one to transcend loving service of the Lord, which alone can raise one to the kingdom of God. Okay. Now, one line we will discuss is this line. Nothing should be done for sense gratification, but everything should be done for satisfaction of Krishna. Now, if I ask you, what does this mean? What are your thoughts on this statement? Nothing should be done for sense gratification. Nothing should be done for our own happiness, should be done only for happiness of Krishna. If I put it this way, do you agree, disagree, or what is the thought on this line?
In the initial stage, Prabhu, it is little difficult.
Hmm.
Like for example, if I earn something, X amount of money, so I would obviously want to
Hmm.
buy something for myself in the
Hmm.
initial stage when I'm not in, experienced devotee.
Hmm.
But yeah, at the end, that's what our goal should be. That whatever you do,
Okay.
yeah, you earn whatever you earn, you use it for the service of the Lord.
Okay. 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 Sure. Um, Anything more?
The same,
Any?
like in the beginning, I think it's like,
Okay.
uh,
Okay.
for
Okay.
me. For example, like for me, the beginning, it's difficult to accept this.
Okay. Okay. So the thing is, we may think it is in the beginning and all that, but we need to understand what it exactly means. First is selfishness. This is to be avoided. Selfishness means this is only for me. Nobody should enjoy. Nobody should take part of the result here. I won't allow anybody coming near. Okay, this mentality should be avoided. Okay. Now, second thing is then what is the mentality? Then should I enjoy it or not? Now let's say we bring a mango at home. Should I enjoy this mango according to above statement?
Yes, we should. No, according to this statement, obviously not. But
How come? The statement says nothing should be done for personal sense gratification, but everything should be done for satisfaction. How then how do I enjoy the mango?
Yeah, exactly. Like according to the sentence,
Yeah.
I should not. Yes.
This is what Krishna is saying. No enjoyment, nothing. Just keep
No, no,
crying.
definitely not.
Then what is he saying? Any thoughts? This is very important to understand. So I'm just spending time. Any thoughts?
Uh, Maybe like
Mm,
the thought process behind this is this that uh, we should while we can eat mango,
mm.
but we with the gratitude that Lord Krishna has given to us.
Okay, okay,
This
okay,
maybe
good. So how do we express that gratitude?
by offering no not
Tell. You're right.
by offering the same mango to Lord, then
By offering
it
the
become a
same,
prasad. Yeah.
yes, by offering the mango to Lord Krishna. So what do? We cut the mango, we put tulsi, we offer it,
Yeah.
and then we accept the mango as prasad. Does Krishna give the whole mango back or he keeps some part of it for himself?
It gives the whole mango
He
also.
gives the whole mango. So
Yeah.
technically, are we going to enjoy the whole mango or not?
Yeah, right.
Right?
Yes.
So this is what Krishna is saying. Without offering it to me, don't eat. Does that make sense? Without Naivedya, don't eat. You offer it to me, whatever, fruit, water, and then you eat it as a prasad, as a mercy. This is how we enjoy. And in this enjoyment, we are not missing the whole mango. We'll get the whole mango back. Right or wrong?
Yes, we will.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then we'll be satisfied. Now it's just about mango, food, everything, Now let's say money. Money is like honey. Now should I enjoy this money or not? And how do I offer it to Krishna? Any ideas? What does it mean to? So first is selfishness. Selfishness means I will use it for my own enjoyment purposes. Okay. I won't allow even family members. I will alone go enjoy it and come. 5-star hotel, this, that, vacation, and all that. Or I won't allow. Now, that is to be definitely avoided. That selfishness is definitely avoided. But then how to offer money to Krishna?
By donating
By
some money.
by offering to the ones who need it or who don't have it.
Meaning, you get that, packet of 100 rupees, packet of 100 rupees. Do you offer that way? Here. Just like mango I did, I will here offer it. Offer the note bundle. Does that
Uh, no,
because
basically you can donate in some temple, or if there is some book distribution
yes,
activities going
charity.
on, you buy. Yeah.
Charity to poor and in Krishna's temple or work. All of it or some part of it?
Some part
Some
of
part
it.
of it. Yeah, obviously.
Now the remaining part, use it for what?
For yourself and your family, maintenance of your
Personal and family
family.
maintenance. What about recreation? Recreation means let's put it in simple words. Enjoyment, recreation, enjoyment. Should we do or not?
Yes, we should.
Okay. How? I agree. Yes, we should do recreation. It's a part of human life. Without recreation, we won't be happy. There is no need to discuss no. But now the question is, if it is yes, then how?
If it is something that you can do it by yourself with the help of internet, then yes, if you can afford, then
What? Sorry, tell me. Tell me what are you saying? I cannot hear you. You got on mute. So Krishna in Bhagavad Gita, 6th chapter, he says this thing. Yeah, tell me, Shiva, I'm not able to hear you. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Oh, okay. He dropped, I think.
Yes, Prabhu, I can hear you.
Okay, fine. I thought it's issue with me. Okay. Yeah. So in 6.17, he says this verse, Yukta aharasya viharasya yukta chetusu karmasu yukta sapna bodhasya yoga bhavati dukkhada. So he says we have to do these four things. Eating, sleeping, definitely we have to do. Eating with we cannot live. Sleeping, without sleeping we'll go crazy. Recreation, without recreation we won't feel recharged, you know. And work,
Yeah.
we have to earn. The important point is he's using the word regulated. Now what does this regulation mean? How means regulated. 6.17. How? So we'll, in simple we will say eating. Okay, we are talking about, okay, we can discuss a little more. Eating, sleeping, mating, and defending. See, these are part of our material happiness, eating. How do we regulate our eating? How do you regulate our eating?
Like eat prasadam as much as possible, avoid
Hmm.
non-veg.
Hmm. Yeah, this is important. Second thing is we have to definitely eat, simple. Too much extravagance may agitate our senses. Some food may agitate our senses. Okay, so simple food is recommended. Okay, sleep. How do we regulate our sleep? I cannot hear you.
Uh, in sleeping, I never seen any kind of constraint or
Okay, if we sleep less, what happens?
yeah, we feel lethargic or something like that.
If we sleep less, kind of disturbed, mentally
Hmm.
disturbed, right?
Yeah.
Okay, more sleep, lazy, difficult to get up. So what we need is optimum speed sleep. What is the number over there? What do you think is number? According to Ayurveda, it is 6 hours. So actually 6 to 8 hours is what is recommended. That also in the night only, okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So
Hmm.
optimum sleep according to is 6 to 8 hours. For some people it is 6 hours. For young people it is 7 or 8 hours, depending on their physical work and all that. Anything greater than that, right, may make one lazy or optimum or lethargic and all that. And less sleep disturbed it disturbs the mind like anything, right? So so yeah, so we discussed how eating is regulated, how sleeping is regulated. Eating is regulated by eating vegetarian food offered to Krishna and simple food. Okay, once a while, sweet and opulent food is fine, but otherwise, most of the time, simple food. Okay, how mating is different? Mating is regulated. Mating with sexual intercourse. How is that regulated?
Uh, it should be like when you want to conceive a baby, then that time only the meeting should happen.
Okay, it's first is it's within marriage. Okay,
Yeah,
it should be
obviously.
marriage. Okay,
Yeah,
not
right.
live-in relationship. That is not recommended actually. It should be within marriage with opposite sex, man and woman, and for desire to have child. This should be the main desire. Okay, the enjoyment comes on its own. You don't have to separately get it and all that. You should know. Okay, and there should be actually Garbhadan Sanskar. What is Garbhadan Sanskar? Anybody heard about this? Garbhadan Sanskar?
Hmm.
No.
Yeah, so Garbhadan Sanskar is a ritual to conceive child. It's a ritual to conceive child in in proper consciousness. What it means is um, at the time of intercourse, whatever be the state of man and woman, the husband and wife, that particular state attracts a particular soul, and one gets the child as it is. So if the man and woman are in too much of mode and passion, they'll get a child which is in mode of passion. If the man and woman are in their consciousness is filled with goodness, even though they may do the passionate act, the child will be also pious, devotee child. So Garbhadan Sanskar means we have to prepare the consciousness before conceiving, or before having child, or before having sexual intercourse. How it is done, I'll tell you. First thing is, in our Krishna conscious movement, Prabhupada said that one should chant minimum 50 rounds of Hare Krishna Mantra. That is like almost like 6 hours. So that you know um, helps to develop our consciousness. Okay, increases mode of goodness, pleases the Lord, and then the child comes out devotee. And then in the Garbhadan Sanskar rituals, there are some rituals meant. Certain foods, certain prayers. And this is how the Vedic time they used to conceive child. In today's time, how people conceive child? They don't do all these things, right? Um, most of the time it's done with intoxicants, alcohol, and enjoyment, pub dancing, and all that. And what kind of children you will get out of that union? You'll get that kind of child only in mode of goodness, mode of passion and ignorance, and there'll be trouble, misery, and madness. So like that. Okay, does this help? We're talking about regulation. Okay.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Now defending. How do we regulate our defending? Defending means, see, we need to save ourselves. So there has to be some, defending some. We need to protect ourselves. So what does it mean to be regulated in that defending? What is access? Too much of defending. What is that? What does that mean? That too much of defending and too less of defending. Let's take in the terms of health. So health can be completely neglected. Then our defending is completely gone, right? Zero. Or health can be taken too much. What does too much take care of health means? Like somebody's taking his health care too much. Too much is required. Too much is doing. Well, what does that mean? What do you think does that mean?
Going into the extreme of
Yeah, going to
the
the extreme,
situation.
going to the extreme.
Not enjoying once in a while, like having a cheat meal or something.
Yeah.
Like not enjoying, like like as you said, like once a week you can have
Um.
sweet maybe.
Yeah. So too much of taking care health means becoming anazoric. I forgot that name. What that
Obsessed.
mean? Yeah, obsessed, and where people stop eating also. I'll become fat. I'll
Anaerobic.
stop. Anaerobic. And second is they will go into too much of health fads. This
Yes, yes, the
food, that
obsession
food,
is very high.
exercise, this, that. Hey, everything looks okay over there. Then why Krishna is saying still it should be regulated? What is the problem in doing that? Exercise, good food. What is the problem?
Because it will damage us in the long term.
Hey,
Like
it
it
may not,
will.
may not damage.
I think, Prabhu, because the mind is in general very much occupied with all these things.
Yeah.
Uh,
See, we need to have a
because
balance of material life and spiritual life. This is the whole purpose of regulation. Balance of material, let's put it like this, endeavors versus spiritual endeavors. If someone is spending so much time that he forgets about his spiritual needs, then what is the point of that defending? Do healthy people die? Yes or no? Do sports person who are dying? Yes or no?
Yes.
yes,
Yeah, they are getting cardiac arrest right when they are playing football. This has become a common thing now. In a year, one or two athletes are dying. I mean, athletes are the best people who do exercise, healthy, good food, everything. They measure everything. But too much of into health, they're what they're doing, they're extending their body. Or let's say extending, there is a better word, na? They are overusing their body. They are
Overstressing.
overstretching their body. Yes.
Stressing. Overstressing.
Overstretching and overstressing, both. So you're definitely going to have cardiac arrest. Previously, 50 years back, how many people would play cricket and football? In a year, how many matches would happen? They made a statistic. Today, the amount of playing games by a sports person versus 50 years back, how much they played. 50 years back, there would be just one Olympics, Asian Games, and all that. So it could be just a once a year activity or maybe twice a year activity. Right now, how many it happens? How many times it happens in a year?
Many times, like almost every
Many
other
times.
week, you can see a tournament
Yeah.
going on.
Yeah. So how can you get that? So over stressing and over um over stressing and over stretching. This is regarding health. This is defending we do, to save ourselves. In terms of see defending in terms of like savings and investments and all that. That is also kind of defending only. We are taking we are securing our future. That is what is defending means. So again, in the same thing, savings and investment, where people can go wrong when the balance is not there, meaning there's too much money making. One stock market expert, he told me that there are people in Bombay Stock Exchange. They make money per day 1 lakh rupees. Per day they will make 1 lakh rupees. But they have broken relationships at home to such an extent that they will stay by a nearby hotel, but they will not go home. And they will make too much money. And what? And there's one person who gambled. In one day, he gambled 40 lakh rupees. So there is no balance. There is over endeavor. If I put the right word, it is actually over endeavor. So, all our do rich people die? Somebody died, right? The recently, I forgot his name, Junjunwala. Yeah, Junjunwala died or not?
Yes.
Ambani died or not? Dhirubhai Ambani. None of their 1,000, 10,000 crore could stop their death. None of it. So therefore, Krishna says our defending in terms of health, savings, etc., etc., in terms of army, should be regulated. It should not be too much and too less. There should be a balance. Then you will be happy. So this is what overall means, that nothing should be performed for sense gratification. What happens in sense gratification? First thing is selfishness. Second thing is over endeavor. Anything we go, we do over or we do under. There's no balance. How to bring balance? We should put Krishna in center. We automatically get balance. By eating, offer it to Krishna. Balance. Earning, charity. Then whatever remains. Actually, the some part of it, right? It is said at most 50%. At most 50% of our salary should be given to charity or Krishna's purpose. So anything from 1% to 50% we can give. This is example said by Rupa Goswami. 50% he donated, and the remaining 50% he divided, gave them to this purpose, that purpose, etc., etc., and then he left everything. But so 50%, that is the target. At most 50%. And same with mating. One should be within marriage, right? And for the purpose of having child. If it goes beyond the purpose of having child, it will end up into prostitution. It will end up into sex addiction. Right or wrong? This is what we see. There is some pleasure. There is some pleasure in gulab jamun. Too much gulab jamun, what will happen? Diabetes. Too much sexual, what will happen? Sex addiction. Too much is not allowed. And then too less, that will also problem, because cravings will be there. So Krishna says have a balance. Regulated life. Does this help? Does it help to understand that how you should do it for satisfaction of Krishna? And at the same time, we can gratify our senses. We are not thirsty for anything. Got it?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So as time progresses, we grow in Krishna consciousness and spiritual life. We understand how to balance these things. Okay. So we spent some time over there, but I think it was important discussion. So let's move to next verse. Okay. सह यज्ञ प्रजा सृष्ट्वा पुरोचित प्रजापितः अनेन प्रसवीस् याध्वम् एषो वो अस्ति इष्टकाम दुःख. Now Krishna says the cycle of sacrifice, He says the cycle of sacrifice. He says, in the beginning of creation, the Lord of all creators sent forth generation of men and demigods along with sacrifices for Vishnu and blessed them by saying, be thou happy by this yajna sacrifice, because its performance will bestow upon you everything desirable for happily living and for living happily and achieving liberation. So what Krishna is explaining here is he created this world and he's explaining how to live happily in this world. That is the next point. Next verses we have 10. How to live happily in this world. So first thing he says, this world has has semi controllers. And they provide us rain, they provide us water, they provide us fire. Oh, these are this Indra, Deva, Agni, Varuna, water, they provided. Okay, man lives on earth, and these are living in the heavenly planets, and they provide all that because they have control over all these things. So there's a universal government that is happening. Now, in our present government, where we can live happily in our city, in our country, why? Is our government troubling us? No. Why? Because we are paying the right taxes. We are following the rules and regulations. The moment we don't follow rules and regulations, the moment we don't pay our taxes, the government will be running after us. Right? So that's a cycle of taxes and benefits, maintenance in our with our government and in our country. Right? Now, Krishna says there's a similar kind of interdependence with the demigods in the universal government. That is done through the process of yajna, sacrifice. This yajna, when they perform, the demigods will be happy. When the demigods are happy, they will provide rain. And with rain comes what? Grains. With grains comes food. With food, what we have to do? With food, what we have to do? We have to offer it to Krishna. And by eating prasadam, our consciousness clears. We do prescribed duties which are in mode of goodness, which are beneficial to everyone. And then um, we perform duty, and we perform again the yajna, that is sacrifice. And then demigods again provide us rain. Then we get grains. Then we offer it to Krishna. So this is a cycle of sacrifice. So we get what we want, and we happily live in this world. So this is the process Krishna is explaining. He set up this process here, and he's explaining all that. Okay, let's see if we can finish this verse at least. So the material creation by the Lord of the creators, Vishnu, is a chance offered by the conditioned soul to come back home, back to Godhead. So material nature is what? It's a place where conditioned souls, they can purify themselves, go back to Godhead. All living entities within the material creation are conditioned by material nature because of their forgetfulness of the relationship to Vishnu or Krishna, the Supreme Personal Godhead. The Vedic principle help us to understand this eternal relation. So we are related to God, we have to go back to God. This world is a temporary place, it's a transit. If you have taken flights and in between you have to change flights, so it's a transit. Even if that transit place happens to be Dubai, it doesn't mean that you have to go there and you're out there sightseeing. No, you have to take the next flight to reach to your actual destination. So this earth is like a transit place. Sometime you're here, that is the wait period till you get the next flight to back home, back to Godhead. The Vedic principle help us to understand this eternal relationship. It is stated in Bhagavad Gita, Vaidesha Sarver Aham Vedyo. This is 15th chapter, 15th verse. The Lord said the purpose of the Vedas is to understand Him. The Vedic hymns is said, in the Vedic hymn it is said, Patim Vishwasya Atma Vishwasya Vishwas Vishwasi Atmeshwaram. Vishwasi Atmeshwaram. Therefore, the Lord of the living entities is the Supreme Personal Godhead Vishnu. So Krishna is the Patim, the Lord of Atmas, all the Atmas. And Vishwe, okay. Oh, okay. And this translation is not given. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, also Sukdev Goswami describes the Lord as Pati in so many ways. Striyar patir, yagya patir, prajapatir, dhyam patir, lokapatir, dhira patir, patir gatis chandaka, vrishni sattvam, prasiditam me bhagwan satam pati. So many times pati, 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 pati. In our Hindi translation, pati means husband, right? But pati here means not the husband, it means the Lord, the one who controls. Okay. The Prajapati is Lord Vishnu. He is the Lord of all creators and all worlds, all beauties, and the protector of everyone. The Lord creates this material world to enable the conditioned souls to learn how to perform yajnas for the satisfaction of Vishnu. So that while in the material world, they can live comfortably without anxiety, and after finishing the present material body, they can enter into the kingdom of God. So, how can we live happily in this world? We need to perform yajnas, sacrifices. And that means multiple things. Sacrifices also means fire yajnas, it also means performing our duty. If we perform our duty also, that is also a yajna. That is the whole program for conditioned soul. By performance of yajna, the conditioned soul gradually becomes Krishna conscious and godly in all respect. So gradually the one becomes God conscious, Krishna conscious, and good qualities start coming into him. In the Kali Yuga, the Sankirtan Yajna is recommended by the Vedic scriptures. So the Yajna, the sacrifice that we have to make in this particular age is by chanting the names of God. We have to chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. That is what is recommended. And this transcendent system was introduced by Lord Chaitanya for the deliverance of all men in this age. Sankirtan Yajna and Krishna consciousness go well together. Lord Krishna, in his devotional form as Lord Chaitanya, mentioned in Srimad Bhagavatam with a specific reference to Sankirtan Yajna. Krishna Varnam Tasa Krishnam Sangopangasha Parshadam Yajna Sankirtan Praya Yajanti Sumedasa. In this age of Kali, who are endowed with sufficient intelligence, will worship the Lord who is accompanied by his associates by performances of Sankirtan Yajna. Other yajnas prescribed in the Vedic literature are not easy to perform in this age of Kali, but Sankirtan Yajna is easy to perform for all purposes as recommended in Bhagavad Gita 9.14. So in this present age, the yajna that we have to perform. Okay. So to understand this, there are 4 yugas. Have you heard about this? Satya Yuga, Dwapar Yuga. You heard about this? Treta Yuga
Yes.
and Kali Yuga. I have a nice, let's see. I have a nice picture. It will explain. Vedic cosmos origins. Okay, let's see this. You see this picture? Oh. Let me make it 200. You see this?
Yes.
Yeah. So there are these 4 yugas which go into multiple cycles. 71 cycles it goes in one day of Brahma. Actually, not 171. It is 71 into. Okay, that's like big thing. But anyway, I'm talking about these 4 yugas: Satyuga, Treta Yuga, Dwapar Yuga, Kali Yuga. Kali Yuga is 432,000. That is 4,32,000. Double of it is Dwapar Yuga. Double of it is Treta Yuga. Double of it is Satyuga. Okay. In the particular ages, the particular yajnas are performed. So in the Satyuga, when time is so much, people could live thousands of years. Right now in Kali Yuga, how many years we live? Maximum 100 years. Minimum, I mean, not talking about minimum, maximum 100 years. In Dwapar Yuga, it was 1000 years. In Treta Yuga, it was 10,000 years. In Satyuga, it was 100,000 years. Minimum. When Lord Ram was there in Treta Yuga, he performed a yajna, a fire sacrifice, which went on for 10,000 years. Have you imagined? It's difficult to imagine. We don't know. Satyuga, people used to do the yajna where they used to meditate on Krishna. And like Vishwamitra meditating, and they would meditate for thousands of years. 60,000 years minimum. In Dwapar Yuga, they used to worship temples. And by worshipping temple, that is the yajna performed. In Kali Yuga, we cannot do anything of the 3. Our lifespan is solved. We don't have energy. We don't have resources. So for us, the Sankirtan Yajna is there. What is Sankirtan Yajna? the chanting of the holy name of Krishna. That is Sankirtana Yagya, the Hare Krishna Mahamudra, the chanting. Nama Sankirtana is the yagya mentioned, prescribed for us. Okay. If we perform this yagya, the demigods will be happy. They'll give us rain. We'll get grains like that. So let's stop here and open for some questions. Any question or comment?
Those are mine today.
Okay.
No, one second.
Okay. Okay. Okay.